Hello, I'm Carolyn Blacksotier, and welcome to Kaleidoscope, your guide to the arts in Harford County. The arts unify communities, and here on Kaleidoscope, we keep you up to date on the county art scene, highlighting local artists and organizers who are working to bring all of us together, making Harford County a better place to live and thrive. So, let's get started. Sarahia Benn has had an impressive career in the music industry as a singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and producer, and she's with me to tell us all about a special conference and concert coming to Haverty Grace in February. I'm excited to welcome Sarahia Benn, owner, founder, and artist of the Benn Experience at SMB Music Group. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, well, I just feel like I should give the floor to you because you do have such an interesting career that started, and so I would love if you would share it with our viewers. I mean, did you know as a little kid that you loved music?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, my dad was a little bit of a blues player, and so I started playing guitar basically behind him. He started teaching me at the age of 4.
Oh my good, and that's here in Harford County?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and I've had cousins that have toured with professional artists all over the world, and so it was sort of something that was in my family to a certain extent.
Yeah. And your family's been in Harford County for a long, long time.
Yes, since the 1700s.
That's a long time.
Two families, two historic families in Harford County called the Bishops and Bonds. We're related to about 17 other families in Harford County. So, like I said, I'm literally related to probably everybody, maybe even including you.
Okay, I'll take it. I went with that music genes you have, too.
All right.
Okay, so you grew up here, and then what happened after that?
Well, I went to college at Berklee College of Music, which is one of the preeminent colleges in America, but now in the nation, in the world.
Yeah, no, it's great for. And what's your instrument?
I'm a bassist.
Okay.
But I didn't go there as a bassist. I went there as a saxophonist. This is what's so funny.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I went there as a saxophonist, and I actually became very, very good at saxophone, but it started giving me headaches. And so I started switching from sax to bass because I was playing in this Latin band. And so I was playing percussion. It was like a second instrument. And during breaks, I started picking up the bass's bass because I had already played guitar. So it wasn't like, I had no background in playing a stringed instrument. And next thing you know, he was like, I'm going to teach you this gig because I got to go back to Germany because his visa was up. And he was like, I'm going to teach you this gig. And that's how I started playing bass.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you finished school or whatever. Then you end up going out to L.A. then.
That's correct.
Okay, tell us about your L.A. time.
Well, when I went to L.A., many other friends of mine went out there. We were trying to make our career. Some of us made it immediate. Some of us didn't. Some of us got signed immediate. In my case, I had a little bit of a delay, but not too much of a delay. And I ended up going on tour with multiple artists. I mean, geez. I mean, it started off with, if I'm not mistaken, New Kids on the Block.
Oh, my goodness.
And I did some stuff with Brian McKnight. But that was a long, long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. And then you wanted to come back home. For family reasons, but also.
Correct.
You said things sort of, the business also was kind of relocating back on the East Coast.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Well, the music business is cyclical. It'll be big in LA, and then it'll start being big in Atlanta, or it'll start be big in New York again.
Yeah.
So I was moving back to New York at that time.
Yeah.
But also I had like some family illness and stuff, and I wanted to be closer to my dad at that time.
Yeah,
and so I came back east and everything. And so instead of touring as much, I got into DJing a little bit more. But it wasn't immediate. It wasn't an immediate shift. I mean, I still was doing a lot of touring, just more on the gospel end. I became a first call bassist doing gospel music. Yeah. And actually in this area, I'm known only as the bassist in some of these churches. They don't even know my first or last name. They call me the bassist.
The bassist.
They do. They just call me the bassist.
Okay, so you're also a DJ, did a lot of things. You taught also as well. So we want to make sure we get to what's happening now. Tell me a little bit about the Benn Experience and SMB.
Okay. Well, first thing is the Benn Experience started as what I call a jam band. I had always wanted to do my own band. Like, I'd always been a supporting artist. and there's nothing wrong with being a supporting artist,
Yeah, but
but I finally wanted to do my own vision, which was a mix of funk, jazz, hip hop, pop, and rock, because I have an edge. I mean, some of the artists, that I admire are like, Marcus Miller, Bootsy Collins, Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Right,
Muddy Waters.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so they all have an edge, and they're all really super different, all the way to like Stravinsky,
Okay.
So Stravinsky, excuse me. So it's all through the traverse of things.
Okay.
And so I wanted to try to come up with something that was jamming. So over the years we would jam a little bit, and sometimes we would get a gig. But 2019 changed it all. We started getting more serious.
Okay, so now what you're doing is you're taking all this experience that you've had, you've come up with a SMB, that's an organization, and you're putting on, you want to share your passion and your experience with others who are starting out, because you can identify. So you're going to have this wonderful conference. Tell us about it.
Well, it's the contemporary conference that we're going to have in Havre de Grace at the State Theater on February 23rd and 24th, 2024. And what it's going to serve is for aspiring artists and even just music lovers to learn more about music. It's a complete educational opportunity to learn everything from panelists, speakers that are in the local, regional, and even national music industry. And so you can learn anything from copyright law to contracts to social justice in music, because that's a space now.
Yeah, it is.
To
right.
how to songwrite, and it's also going to allow people to have an opportunity to showcase. Now, we understand that we're not going to be able to showcase every artist, so we are going to have a process with which to
highlight certain
certain groups.
Yeah.
We're going to have a focus group of professionals to be able to pick out that.
Okay, so if people want to sign on, I think you're kind of saying, get your early bird passes is a
That's
good
correct.
thing. How do they go about doing that?
Well, the website's going to be started up in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's going to go live, and they'll be able to go there, and they'll be able to sign up and register to get on the showcase or to get tickets for the actual conference.
Right, and there's a
or
phone number there
concerts.
too. And plus, we're going to be airing this more than 2 weeks, so just keep trying. If you don't get the website the first time, keep trying, right?
That's correct. That's correct. That's correct.
Right, and then are you going to be performing at all during
Yes,
this?
of course. I'm going to be in the conference. I'm going to be in the conference and the concert.
You get to decide,
Because our band, we kick. We're hard, and we're going to give you guys a little different. We call our stuff funk and roll.
Yeah,
it's
funk
hard
and roll.
and it's funky.
Okay, so you learn all the different aspects of the music industry and all of that. And just in the couple seconds we have left, why did you decide to do this? Why this conference? It's a big step.
It is a big step. Over the years, I looked at Maryland and the DMV in general and looked at there hasn't been a lot of conferences in the area, yet there's a large amount of music talent. Do you realize how much music talent leaves this area to go on tour for the biggest artists in the U.S. and the world?
Well, you're going to change that now. You're going to have
Yes.
wanting to stay here. Forget about L.A. or Atlanta. It's Havre de Grace.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So I want to thank you so much. Best of wishes to you, Sarahia, so much.
Thank you so
You
much.
bet, right. Harford County Susquehanna Symphony Orchestra was founded in 1978 by Sheldon Bair, and today he remains at the helm as the conductor and musical director 45 years later. Let's find out more about the man behind the orchestra, or should I say in front of it, because he's a conductor, as we shine a light on Sheldon Bair.
Well, I started teaching in April of 1976, having left college a few weeks early because a job opening came up. So I've taught orchestra in Harford County Public Schools for 40 years, retiring in 2016. After 1 year with Harford County Public Schools, I decided to start a community orchestra because I felt a need. The music I choose is always music that I feel that the orchestra can perform. I feel that I can teach to the orchestra, and that I'm comfortable conducting. The thing is, with a community orchestra, the closest community orchestra at that time, and still, is in the Towson area. And otherwise, we're it. There's no other community orchestra. The very first concert was April of 1978 at John Carroll, and the principal at the time, Don Sudbrick, was on the board. And we had 53 musicians, and we had a pretty full complement. Well, we had the instruments necessary covered. So that means strings, violin, viola, cello, bass. I think we only had one bass player at that time. And then we had a couple of flutes, a few oboes, a couple of clarinets, a couple of bassoons, I think 2 or 3 horns, French horns, a couple of trumpets, 3 trombones, tuba, and timpani, and maybe another percussionist. So that's what it takes. And now we're at, like, the holiday concert, 75. So 53 was pretty good for a beginning. One of our favorite concerts is Hopkins Farm Brewery. We play there every June, and it's attended by more families than any of our other concerts. It's amazing. I am involved in doing some arranging. I arranged Sweet Caroline for June concerts last year, and I played drum set, which was fun. And I do bring in some younger conductors to conduct, which I think is important. But when I got the letter that my grandmother wrote, I thought I really need to set this letter verbatim. The piece is called The Home Front 1944, the year of the letter. But I think it's important that people at least think about how gold-starred moms feel or felt when they lost their son. She just starts out by saying, "How are you? It's raining." And then it gets sad. And the chaplain of England has been contacted her, so he was missing in action. There was never a body. So that's the climax of the piece. And right after she curses the government, she writes, "Have you been down home lately? Mama left the dish when I was there last time." The most positively memorable concert for me, in March of 1995, my friend Doug Miller, who was the concert choir director at the time at Penn State, we performed St. John Passion by Bach together at John Carroll School. Conducting is, a lot of people don't understand that conducting many times is like the old-time traffic cop. And sometimes you really only enjoy what you've done after the fact because you're so busy dealing with things musical on stage. When I decide to hang up the baton, hopefully there'll be somebody that cares about the community. I think that's one of the most important things that there is, that we provide something for the community, and they embrace that.
Look for a special Shine a Light feature during every Kaleidoscope program. When we return, Harmerstown Arts Center will be here to tell us all about the grand opening of Graw Alley. Stay tuned. The arts improve school success. Students excited by school stay in school. Low-income students who participate in the arts, both in school and after school, have a dropout rate of just 4%, 5 times lower than their peers. Harmerstown Art Center recently celebrated the grand opening of Graw Alley, an interactive art park that takes visitors on a tour through Haverty Grace history. Joining me on the program with more about this first-of-its-kind regional art facility are Alan Fair, president and founder of Harmerstown Art Center, and Rebecca Jessup, operations consultant. Welcome to you both, and congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I think that I'm a huge fan of Haverty Grace. I think I know a lot about it, but this is something slightly new to me. Can you tell us a little bit about?
And the reason I think it's slightly new is it's happened very quickly. So it all began, actually this organization, the nonprofit, started in 2021. And a lot has happened in 2 years.
Wow.
This wonderful gentleman, Alan Fair, bequeathed a piece of land, about an acre and a building next to it, that is going to become Harmerstown Art Center Complex. So we have now opened the first phase of it, which is called Graw Alley. It is the interactive art park. And we are working on the art building itself, which is a 34,000 square foot structure, which will have art studios and galleries and maker spaces and all that. That is about 3 or 4 years away. But we're here to talk about the excitement of the Graw Alley Park, which, like I said, happened very quickly. It used to be a blighted alleyway.
Yeah.
And Alan's vision, working with people, he is the founder and president, it was to make this a beautiful place for people to go, and it is.
So we've talked before, many, many years back. I know that this, even though, as Rebecca said, this has happened quickly, you've had a vision for some time about doing something pretty important here in Haverty Grace. I mean, you've been doing lots of things here in Haverty Grace, but something of this ilk that combines culture and history. So tell us a little bit about the background. Where does Harmer's come from? Where does Graw Alley? What's the significance of those names?
Well, Harmerstown was the name of Haverty Grace, which most people didn't know before Haverty Grace. So as a board, we thought, well, why not?
Yeah.
Something different rather than just saying Haverty Grace.
Right.
But it's Harmerstown, and it's...
And what about Graw Alley?
Graw Alley was because of the racetrack, which closed in 1950. Probably one of the worst things that's ever happened to Haverty Grace when it closed.
Yeah.
They just sold the dates and left us.
That's too bad.
I need to add, Haverty Grace used to be called Little Chicago. So it was because all the major horses came through the Graw. I mean, War Admiral, Seabiscuit, all of them, which actually leads into one of the first murals that you ever got painted by Ezra Berger.
Yeah, Ezra painted it. Bill Watson actually did the artwork, and then Ezra did his artwork, so I give them both credit. But
all right.
Ezra's the one that did the mural, and it has 8 horses. 7 of them ran in Haverty Grace.
Wow.
And one called Haverty Grace was on the mural.
All right. Now, we were just looking at a picture of the mural, but also in front of the mural is a sculpture. And I know that you celebrated a lot of things recently. So quickly tell us, Rebecca, about the ribbon cutting.
So, well, the park itself, which we worked on, started again with 1 mural, and it's now 40 murals.
Wow.
So, and the plan was to have this be a beautiful space, landscaped shrubs and beautiful flowers to complement all the murals, beautiful lighting, and so folks can come in and just enjoy and see what the history of Haverty Grace in a beautiful place. So we have art there, which we planned big art sculptures there, but the art right now is sort of a nod to the Graw. So the very first art sculpture unveiled at the ribbon cutting was the horse Haverty Grace.
Right, and the couple who you commissioned to do this work, we just saw a picture of them just earlier. They did a beautiful job. Are you pleased with?
Oh my goodness, yeah. How I found them was at the art show 3 years ago. I went down there and they had some sculptures. And real quick, I talked to them, can you do a full-size horse with jockeys? He said, I can do an elephant if you want. So anyway,
say no thanks.
That's where we started.
Okay.
And they're doing all of them. They have the one now. We have 4 that are in progress. Saggy, Citation.
Oh, wow.
I think Man of War, and there's one other one.
Wow.
They will be all in a real starting gate at
Starting
the top
gate.
of the park.
Oh, I see how it. So it's so wonderful that you've mixed this great history of Haverty Grace with today's artists and arts and in creating a vibrant community. I mean, that's the way it's supposed to work, right?
We're loving it.
The day itself was really wonderful. We had all kinds of music. We had music going all day between jazz. We had, I believe one of the pictures you showed was HCC students, Hartford Community College students, jazz trio. We had folk. We had steel drums coming in from Baltimore. We had rock. A local rock group. So it was just a real day. And then, of course, we had at the bottom of the alley artists.
Right.
That we had a group of artists come in. There were weavers, textile artists and jewelry and a painter. And so to give a little bit of taste for everything that's going to happen in the park.
Happen there, yeah. So what's been the biggest challenge, Alan, for you in this? I mean, you're known to get things done.
Well, they didn't move as quick as we liked.
Yeah.
But the county was very good to us, and the city, and that's really how we got the money for Graw Alley. Mm-hmm. And the contractors were wonderful. Clark Turner, Bob Ward kind of oversaw it, had their contractors, and just done a wonderful job. We're very pleased.
Well, I'm sure people I know are excited about it. So how can folks get involved if they want to? Where can they get more information about the center and the?
So they can go to harmerstown.org. There's all kinds of history there, what the plans are. We're always looking for volunteers because it's a growing organization. There's going to be lots to do. We were really focused on the opening of Graw Alley. Now it's open. Mm-hmm. So now we have to do, while we're getting the building done, we're going to be doing programs.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask.
All kinds of programs. So the plan is we hope to have films in there. We hope to have adult and kids drop in for making art projects. We hope to have a history tour. And by the way, the plan is for each of the murals to have a code on it. And so you'll be able to pull up the history and listen to it of each piece. Wow. So we have grand plans of things to come.
You do. Do you have a favorite mural? Is that fair to ask?
Of course, the horses.
Yeah.
But actually, talking about the horses, I saw Saggy beat Citation on a Monday.
No.
It was a half-miler. It was only a half mile. Then the Chesapeake Stakes was a mile race, and Citation just left everybody there pretty much.
Great history.
And I actually saw both of those.
That's right. Well, everyone is off to the races. Literally and figuratively. So we want to thank you both for all the important work that you're doing on behalf of Haverty Grace and the arts and the history, and wish you luck as you continue on this race to the finish.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You bet. Well, there's more to come on Kaleidoscope, so don't go away. We'll be right back. The U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis reports that the nation's arts and culture sector is an $878 billion industry that supports 5.1 million jobs. That is 4.5% of the nation's gross domestic product. Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. As the government-appointed local arts agency, the Harford County Cultural Arts Board is the primary local resource for arts organizations, for artists, and for you, our county residents. The board's mission is to preserve, enhance, and promote the culture of Harford County, Maryland. Creating and participating in the arts goes back to the beginning of time, but it wasn't too long ago that our country, state, and county recognized the importance of supporting the arts. In 1964, the United States Congress recognized the arts as a vital part of our national life and not a luxury. It recognized that individuals, governments, educational institutions, and non-artistic enterprises such as business and civic groups all share the responsibility for our nation's cultural progress. Soon after, the Harford County Cultural Arts Advisory Board was formed in 1973, and it continues to work today, 50 years later, to preserve, enhance, and promote the culture of Harford County, Maryland. As 2023 comes to a close, and with it the 50th year of the Harford County Cultural Arts Board, it is time to recognize all who have been involved in the cultural arts community, including board members of our official county arts agency, legislators who voted to support the funding of the arts in our community, board members of our many incredible arts organizations, as well as staff, teachers, artists, and you, our Kaleidoscope community. Thank you for all you do for the arts, and here's to the next 50 years. And that wraps up today's program. Thank you for watching Kaleidoscope, produced in partnership with the Cultural Arts Board of Harford County and aired exclusively on Harford TV. A reminder to celebrate the season by enjoying and supporting the arts. Treat yourself to one of the many concerts, performances, galas, or exhibits during the holidays. There is truly something for everyone. From all of us here at Kaleidoscope, happy holidays. I'm Carolyn Black-Sotier.